It's Friday, November the 11th, 2022.
The last word in podcasting news. This is the Podnews Weekly Review with James Cridland and Sam Sethi.
In the chapters today, podcast companies release their financials, Vizzy gets busy with adding visualization, and Sam goes to a pub.
I'm Sam Sethi, the co-host of this new show, and I'm also going to be relaunching a new podcast called Sam Talks Technology soon. But less of that and more of you, James.
And I'm James Cridland, the editor of Podnews. And yes, if you missed last week, this is the same show with a new name. Podland is now the Podnews Weekly Review.
This podcast is sponsored and hosted by Buzzsprout. Last week, 3,499 people started a podcast with Buzzsprout. Podcast hosting made easy, with powerful tools and remarkable customer support.
From your daily newsletter, the Podnews Weekly Review.
So what's the top story this week, James, I hear you ask? Well, Acast have released its financial results for Q3 2022. In revenue terms, they've made 321 million Swedish krona, or in US terms, $29 million. It's up 21% year on year. All good, except it made a loss for the quarter of 65 million Swedish krona, James. Tell me more. What do you think of these results?
I think from my point of view, average revenue per listen is down 20%. And you look at that and you go, yikes, average revenue per listen down 20%. That's a bad thing. But total listens are up nearly 50%. They're up 47.9%. So I think that Acast is going in the right direction here. They're not selling all of their inventory as well. So I think if they can sell more of their inventory, then that should turn into more profit as well. But I think personally, looking at the numbers, they're pretty good numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the markets are demanding, companies reach profitability, and they seem to be heading in the right direction. So congratulations to Acast. They're also doing a deal. We talked about last week that Amazon Music for Prime users now added loads of podcasts and also millions of music tracks. And it seems that they've also added a deal from Acast. What have they done, James?
Yeah, it's pretty clever, this, actually. Acast has essentially gone to sell Amazon Music a bunch of their ads on some of their biggest shows. They're saying thousands of ad-free podcasts, which isn't all of them, but is quite a lot of them. And so essentially that means that creators are still getting money. Amazon are happy because they've got lots of podcasts which don't have any ads in them. And so, therefore, everybody seems to win out of that. And in fact, when you go on to the Amazon Music podcast app and you try listening to, for example, The Rest is Politics, which is the number one podcast in the UK at the moment, then that proudly says ad-free. Amazon are essentially paying for that bit. So it's pretty good, actually. I think that's a really clever plan where everybody seems to win. The audience wins because there are no ads. Amazon wins because they've got something special. And Acast wins because they're getting paid for it.
Why is Amazon doing this? I mean, they've got such a small market share in podcasting. Is this their final roll of the dice to try and get it into parity with Apple and Spotify?
I think Amazon are very keen to make a bit more of a push, and certainly making all of the music, which is now available in the Amazon Music app, although some people don't like having to shuffle music, but still that's just the way that it goes. All of the music and all of these ad-free podcasts is a real point of difference to something else, to other shows, to other platforms which are out there. So I think, it is pretty good. Amazon Music is still very, very small in most Western countries. It's very big in Japan. If I can coin a phrase, big in Japan. They're number 3 in that market, but they're, pretty well nowhere in other parts of the world. But I think that this should be, at least there's a reason now to download the Amazon Music app and to start listening to podcasts on there, because there are fewer ads in there, and I think that's a pretty good thing.
Well, if you want the Podnews Daily podcast, that is on Amazon Music, and this Podcast Weekly podcast will be there too. I'll put in the show notes, if you're interested, how you too can add your podcast to Amazon Music Podcasts. Now, moving on, James, other financial results this week. Audacy published its financial report for Q3. It's not good. including podcasts, it made $62 million US in this quarter, but it's only up 2% year on year, and it's down 10% on the quarter, and its total revenues declined by 3.8%. Tell me more why Audacy sounds like it's in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Audacy really sounds like it's in trouble. I'm only looking at the podcasting side, the digital bit, which is $62 million in the quarter. Now, let's just compare. Up 2% year on year from Audacy. Acast is up 21% year on year in terms of revenue. Quarter on quarter, Acast is up just 2%, Audacy down 10%. So it's not looking great for them. They've been told by the stock market in the US that if they don't make their stock price more than $1, then they're going to be taken off the stock market, and the markets do not like what they are currently doing. Stock hit a record low earlier on in the week of just 27 cents. So it does look as if they're going to be coming off the stock market, and that will make a lot of people very angry indeed, I think.
What titles do Audacy have? I mean, have they got an extensive slate, or are they quite small?
So Audacy own people like Pineapple Street Media, they own Cadence 13, so they own some pretty big podcast companies. They also, of course, own an awful lot of large radio stations. They used to be called Entercom, and Entercom used to, well, still does, own an awful lot of very large stations in the US, and perhaps that's what's pulling Audacy down, is just the amount of money that they're sinking into those broadcast radio stations. So they own some pretty big things. They also own Podcorn, which is a podcast advertising service. I learnt today that Podcorn's founder has now left the company. They were purchased in March of 2021. So presumably she had an 18-month clause. But, you know, Audacy, a pretty large company, but really not doing very well, you know, in terms of things. But that said, you know, iHeart hasn't done particularly well this time either in terms of making a loss.
Yeah, iHeart's revenue for the quarter was $91 million. But it's up, James, 42% year on year. So although it's made a massive loss of 310 million, how do you make such a big loss if your revenues and your year on year is up every other metric?
Well, because, again, iHeartMedia owns an awful lot of large radio stations, and that's what's pulling things down. So the value of its broadcast licenses has actually dropped by more than $300 million, and so that's a value on the book, and therefore they have to declare that, which is why it's made a loss of $310 million this time around. It had made a very modest profit this time last year. I think what they've done is very clever. They've basically split their company into two. They've got the new and shiny stuff, which includes their app and includes their podcasts and everything else that Conal Byrne is looking after. And then they've got their, I think they call it multi-platform, but it's essentially all of the old stuff, all of the radio stations and the transmitter masts and everything else. And that's what's dragging iHeartMedia down a bit.
All of these seem to be slightly down. Is it just the market? I mean, I saw a number yesterday which totally blew me away. Amazon has become the world's first public company to lose $1 trillion in market value. $1 trillion. Its market cap shrunk by $880 billion from its $1.8 trillion. And it's not on its own. Microsoft also lost $889 billion of value yesterday as well. It's crazy.
It's not good news. It's not good news in terms of the tech markets at all. I mean, Meta is laying off more than 11,000 employees. So we've heard quite a lot of layoffs elsewhere, and Amazon have certainly made layoffs too.
Yeah, I mean, the irony being that Meta lays off 11,000 people and its stock jumps 8%. So yes. There you go.
I think yes, and Zuckerberg turns around and says, "Oh well, you know, I'm hold myself completely responsible," and then fires 11,000 people. Yeah, you might if you're holding yourself responsible, mate, you might want to consider firing yourself. But clearly, that's not going to happen.
That's not happening. But actually, that just tells you that what the market's saying is get more profitable, get leaner, get meaner. and we will increase your stock price, which goes back to our original point about Acast having to let go of people to get into profitability. I think that's what the underlying tone is.
Exactly right.
Now, moving on. Podcasting's Twitter fallout. Yes. Oh, it's been a week, hasn't it, James, on Twitter this week? Elon Musk, he's launching something, then he's pulling it back, then it's going to be $20, then it's $8. What the hell is going on at Twitter, James?
What is going on? I mean, who knows what's going on? I noticed that Twitter Blue has gone live for you lot in the UK. I weirdly was told in the Twitter app that I couldn't get it here in Australia, and now apparently you can get it. It was a bug in the app, or something else. But yes, lots of people leaving Twitter, lots of people moving over to Mastodon, which I've been on for a while. Podcastindex.social is where I am, and lots of people using that. But yeah, there's a lot of people who are at least considering moving away from the website altogether. Ariel Nissenblatt, friend of the show, has launched a Discord server around podcasting, and it's been very successful. More than 800 people were on it when I checked earlier on today. Spotify also has a Discord server as well, which is full of people talking about Spotify podcasts, if you can imagine such a thing. So that's all going on. But I think it's a real change to those of us who've grown up on Twitter. I've been on Twitter for many, many years, and just the incredible changes that Elon Musk has put through in a week, and they're not all positive changes by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, well, I got my Twitter Blue verified last night, and it just doesn't mean anything. I mean, in my head, any Tom, Dick, or Boris can get this now. I mean, if you're a Russian stooge who wants to be a troll, pay your $8, and there you go, you're verified, and rename yourself to Elon Musk. And you're done.
Agree. I'm astonished that you can still rename yourself after you've been verified. That seems to make no sense whatsoever. I don't think there's real verification going on anyway. Interestingly, on Mastodon, there is verification. You post a little bit of code on your website, and Mastodon sees that and notes that you are now a verified person, that website is something that actually belongs to you on your Mastodon account, which makes an awful lot of sense. So I've done that. You can see that in my profile on that particular service. Whereas Twitter verification doesn't seem to verify anything at all, so far as I can work out, apart from the fact that you have a credit card.
Yeah. Now, I mean, taking it back to podcasting, we have got, of course, this new tag called podcasting.txt, which I guess is our way in the industry of putting in our own set of verifications, but by removing the need for email and adding in a DNS type or verification system. That hasn't really been adopted yet, has it? No one's so far that I can see, none of the hosts have enabled it yet.
Transistor has, actually. Transistor has put it live, but cool. Nobody else has. And actually, funnily enough, I tried claiming this particular show on Amazon Music Podcasts last week, and it turns out that they want the email address, which is in our RSS feed, which of course isn't in our RSS feed because we're on Buzzsprout and they've turned all of those off. So you have to go into Buzzsprout and turn it back on for 24 hours, and then you have to then verify that. And so, it's going to be a little bit of growing pains, I think. But I do think that more people are going to be enabling that, and certainly I suspect that we will see more of this coming online in the new year when Apple formally doesn't need any email addresses anymore either.
So do you think people are going to switch to Mastodon? I know that you're on Podcast Index Social, so am I actually, but I don't use it enough to really say that I'm on it, although I do have an address. Is the Fediverse, this is the terminology that we have to use, is this going to take off, or is it just I'm going to try Mastodon? And then people, from what I've seen, have said the UI is too hard, they don't understand it. They'll just come back to Twitter after they've had their little harumph.
Well, I mean, I'm delighted that the UI is too hard for some people because they're stupid and therefore they don't deserve to be on this particular social media network. Is my own slightly non-PC view. But no, I mean, I think the Fediverse, so Mastodon is a client on the Fediverse. So the Fediverse is essentially ActivityPub. Mastodon speaks ActivityPub, therefore Mastodon communicates with it. But you can also download another server called Pleroma, I think it's called, which does much the same, which talks to Mastodon and talks to other things as well, and talks to Castopod, because Castopod has been connected to the Fediverse since April 2021. And also, this is where cross-app comments live, because we've been talking about cross-app comments for a long, long time. One of the things holding cross-app comments back is the requirement for people to go off and get an ActivityPub, a Mastodon, a Fediverse account. And of course, lots of people are getting them now. So this is good news potentially for cross-app comments. So I think that there are going to be a large amount of people that do switch and maybe stay there. There are going to be an awful lot of abandoned accounts, but I think that there are going to be an awful lot of people who do end up staying there. And certainly the feeling from those people that have moved across is that Mastodon has a couple of very interesting UX changes, which actually means that at the moment it's a much nicer place to be. Perhaps that's a good thing, and perhaps people will actually stay there because of that.
Well, like you, we've been on Twitter, I think, since 2006. And in the early days, I mean, that was literally the early days, it was a nice place as well, Twitter, until everyone else turned up. So, you never know. Now, if you are one of the many people making a leap to Mastodon, you might be interested in a service called MastoFeed, a tool to share new episodes of your podcast. And I will put a link in our show notes. James, have you used MastoFeed or tried it?
I haven't, and I kind of think, isn't this spamming? And would that be a bad thing? So I'm kind of not sure whether or not it's a good idea, but nevertheless, it's there. It's mastofeed.org. And whenever I say mastofeed, it's just half a word away from something that's very, very, very rude. So I feel very strange saying mastofeed. But anyway, if you fancy a bit of a mastofeed, then go and take a peek at that.
Yeah, I was going to say something else, but I'll move on. Now, Vizzy, not a product I've used myself, but Vizzy is a web-based enrichment platform. It's looking for early adopters to use its tools, such as images, chapters, and links, which can be added to podcasts. And they're viewable on Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Podcast Addict, and many others. James, you met up with the CEO, didn't you, this week?
I did, yeah. I wondered what Vizzy was all about. I heard him talking at Podcast Day about 2 or 3 weeks ago about enriching your podcasts with images and chapters and links, just basically the same as podcast chapters which are out there. So I asked Nic Ivanov what Vizzy was.
So Vizzy, which has just released the Vizzy Studio, is essentially a tool, a piece of software. We are platform independent. It's browser based, where you can go and you can enrich your MP3 files. So predominantly to add things like chapters, images, and links into your podcast's audio, as well as some handy tools for generating your show notes, which is actually it's being quite popular.
It's part of the standard, right? Images and links and chapters and that sort of thing?
It's part of a standard, let's just say. So obviously part of the standard, we have 2 standards really going in parallel. And there is the current Rails, I guess, which uses RSS and MP3. So we work with that. We work across any platform that supports MP3s that are enhanced with ID3 tags. It will also work on all the apps that do have the other standard, which would be JSON files. They also work with MP3s in RSS feeds. So we're independent of both standards and support both, of course.
Very nice. So what does Vizzy Studio bring to this then? Is it an easier tool for podcasters to use, or what do people get when they use it?
It's very easy to use, and it's visual. It's kind of like, you almost want to think about it, of the early days of computers, and it was clunky, and it was made for people to use that had skills, or at least knew how to type in commands. Now, Vizzy takes all of that out, and it's kind of a point and click. So when you upload your MP3, you can see a timeline. You can add things to the timeline like chapters, and then you can add images to those chapters. You can add copy, etc., and links, and it just puts it all together for you.
Very cool, and it works with therefore pretty well. Most podcast apps under the sun. I'm guessing maybe most predominantly Apple Podcasts.
Works extremely well with Apple Podcasts and equally well with the others. To be honest, the only one currently not supporting that is Spotify, and hopefully that they will come on board and support it. However, all the other apps I've tested support it. Certainly all the big ones. So Apple Podcasts is the big boy there, and then obviously Overcast supports it, Pocket Cast supports it, Podcast Addict supports it, Casto supports it. So it's across everyone.
So you sent out a call earlier on this week for early adopters for your service. Who are you looking for?
We are looking for everyone is the short answer, but more specifically podcasters. So the people that are going to use the tool, looking for feedback, looking for thoughts, for early impressions, looking for people to go in there, test it, use it, get some feedback from their listeners. Make sure you remember to tell them that, hey, we're using this thing. Now you can have an image on the screen. What does the Nic look like? Service an image. If you're talking about something technical, specific, show it on the screen. So podcasters is our number one. Certainly studios, production houses, people that are making content. There's, I think, some pretty cool new possibilities that open up with chapters and images for new formats. You could potentially build an interactive story, depending on which chapter you go to at the end of the previous chapter. The audio is linear, but you can jump around in it now. And that could be supplemented with images. So I'd love to speak to some studios for their existing podcasts or for new ones. And finally, hosts. We want to work with the host. We want to integrate with the host. We're interested in making technology that makes podcasting better.
What sort of podcasts does this work with the most? I mean, I'm guessing it'll work with all of them, of course. But I'm thinking true crime particularly might be a real opportunity here in terms of images of people and places and articles and so on.
Exactly. So it's funny. It's creeping up. The idea of multiple still images, enhancing the audio and giving the listener a bit of additional context is coming up more. And there was this incredible article by Pacific Content. And in the article, the writer writes about true crime and goes, what would it have been like in Serial Season 1 when Sarah describes what was revealed in the cell tower map? And then goes, imagine if an image popped up at that point in time and you could see what was happening rather than jumping into Google or leaving your medium and jumping into Google. So true crime is an obvious one. There's a lot of tech review podcasts, obvious. News stories are great because you can break it up. 6 news stories, 6 images, 6 chapters, 6 links. It's very good for book podcasts. We do buy them and judge them on their covers, no matter what anyone says. There's so many. Travel is an obvious one. History works really well. Cooking, design. It's actually incredible when you dig deep how many podcasts are actually visual based and are always describing things. And you've got a limited amount of time. Describing a Venn diagram is quite difficult, but showing a picture of it only takes 1 second.
And there's been a bunch of companies doing research around added visuals and chapters to podcasts as well, haven't there?
Yeah. There's been some research coming out slowly. There is some research that was done by Intel, who were very early in on the space and did some incredible work about the recall from listeners with podcasts that have been enhanced with images. And the recall was editorial recall and obviously brand recall was both 2 to 3 times higher 7 days later if the podcast was enhanced with images. I think there's probably still research that will come out. I'd be very interested in understanding how much time people spend within their podcasts rather than out, because I think sometimes you lose them. And an obvious example is you're on the train, you're listening to a podcast, you hear something interesting. Where do you end up on Google? And then do you continue? Do you go back to your podcast? Do you go down a rabbit hole? So if you bring it all in to the screen, I think it could retain listeners into the medium as well.
So how can people learn more about Vizzy?
Vizzy.fm. Easy as that. On our website, the studio is open for signups. Sign up, try it out. Email me directly. My contact details are all over the website at Nic_Vizzy for Twitter as well. And happy to bring on as many podcasts as we can and just keep building it from here.
And one last question: is the beard a permanent fixture, or is the beard?
No, this is new. Yes. So I thought I would have a little James Cridland style beard.
Yeah.
And see how it goes for me for a while. I should have probably done it in winter.
Yeah, it's doing well. Nic, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
There we go, Nic Ivanov from Vizzy. I wonder what effect the lock screen will have on iOS for podcast chapters done in tools like Vizzy Studio. James, what do you think?
Yeah, because I think actually when you use the new iOS 16, then you've got that great big pretty lock screen which shows chapter images and actually means that your phone doesn't need to be unlocked. You don't need to necessarily be holding your phone or using your phone. You can still see the chapter images and things, and you can see that for certain shows, as Nic was talking about, for certain shows that would be actually quite a useful thing. So I think that perhaps the lock screen will be one of the things that pushes people to use chapters a little bit more. And it was really good to hear that he supports both ID3 chapters, but also the new podcast namespace JSON chapters as well.
I might give it a try a little later on. Now, it's time to sing Happy Birthday, James. Or do we have to not sing it because we might be having to pay copyright? I can't remember. Are we allowed to anymore?
I think we are allowed to now, but no, I'm not going to. I think that there was a court case around who owns the copyright for Happy Birthday, and it was worked out that nobody really did. But yes, happy birthday to Libsyn, who is 18, who turned 18 over the weekend, founded by 4 people. And you kind of, I think when you look back at what the internet was like in 2004, of course, there was no such thing as Amazon, AWS at least. There was no such thing as firing up your own servers and everything else. I think it took me until 2007 before I was actually spending money on co-located servers and stuff. So these guys were really early. It was Dave Mansueto, Matt Hoops, Marty Mulligan, and Dave Chekan, who set up Libsyn a while ago. I found the backstory during the week, and I also found Libsyn's first video ad. I'm not sure whether it ever ran on TV, but it's very, very 2005, I think, at the time. Very, very 2005. Here's a little clip.
Great podcast, man.
This is great. I love your podcast, man.
Nice podcast, man. Yeah.
Hello out there.
So Libsyn's first video ad, very, very cool. But many congratulations to them turning 18.
Yeah, Libsyn's current CEO, Brad Turpak, said to you, actually, James, we're proud of our growth and transformation. Our innovation and investments are paying off with scaling of our advertising business, international expansion, and enhancements to our industry-leading tools. Yeah, Libsyn seems to be doing well. It's Libsyn 5 is their new platform. So, well done to Libsyn.
Yeah, it's doing very good. Now they're 18, Libsyn will be legally able to get a tattoo, to vote, to use a meat slicer, and to adopt a child. So that's something to look forward to.
One of our former sponsors and a service that we use a lot, new Squadcast integrations are happening. Headliner.app. You can now select and import Squadcast recordings to save time in your post-production workflow. You can check it out at EditEdddy.com/signup. Yeah, again, it's another way of integrating or simplifying your workflow. So, nice job by Squadcast and by Headliner.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a really smart tool and well worth having a look at both Eddy, which is, much like Descript, but different. as well as their integration with Squadcast. So yeah, I think it's a good thing.
What is going on at Buzzsprout Towers? Someone is certainly on the juice. Did they watch the film Back to the Future or something? They've been creating videos a la the 90s. I mean, what's Alban doing, James?
I know, it's very good. And I love the fact that Alban doesn't even call himself Alban. He calls himself...
I'm Al Brook from the Buzzsprout Corporation, and I'll be your guide as we explore the best ways to be a podcast guest.
I mean, it's so 1990s, right? But they haven't explained at all why they're recording this in a 1990s style. It's brilliant. I mean, perhaps that's what Florida is still like. It's still stuck in the 1990s. Who knows?
Yeah. It was the fact that on their desk they had what was one of those old Apple Macs that Steve Jobs came back with, with the fluorescent colours. It was brilliant. I loved it. I actually thought it was very funny.
Yeah, it's the first one of these videos that I've actually sat and watched all the way through. So it's a video which is basically all about appearing as a guest and what to do and what you should be downloading and everything else. But it's just brilliant. And the way that Al shows it all off is fantastic. I'm a particular fan of the rap in the middle. Have you heard the rap?
I haven't. No, I must listen to it all the way through. Then
it's the rap is a classic. Here's a little bit.
Before your interview, gotta get in the zone. How do you do this? You choose the right headphones, AirPods, earbuds, whatever you need. You'll notice when you're speaking too quietly. You see, headphones is the top accessory. They limit distractions, give you clarity. You'll hear yourself in real time. You pull it off just like these sick rhymes.
I think that's enough of that. But it's just something else. Really, really good. Adam Curry has tweeted, I want this guy to do a video on value for value. Excitedly, Alban appears to have said exactly that. They're talking about doing a value for value video next. He is hoping. But yes, I just want to know whether that's Alban's real moustache, because I know that he's been growing a moustache. I'm wondering whether that's Alban's real moustache or whether there's a bit of moustache enhancement going on in that video.
I was thinking the same. Or is he just doing a Movember? He might just be doing it for charity.
No, that might be it.
Or he's going to be coming back to us going, no, that's my new look. What's wrong with it?
Yes, that'll be clearly it. Anyway, Buzzsprout, a sponsor of the Podnews Weekly Review, and thank you for that. Now,
Spotify have snuck out a new desktop notifications. A friend of the show, Chris Messina, posted yesterday that the Spotify app includes podcast and show recommendations on the desktop app. So I had a quick look and it is there. And so, yes, if you want to get notifications in real time from Spotify, you can go to your account profile and turn them on.
Hooray! And this is recommendations for podcasts and shows we think you might like. So if you fancy some notifications on your desktop about the Joe Rogan podcast, well, you won't get them because Spotify never promote that show, do they? But you'll get something else. Probably Meghan Markle if you're lucky. But that's available now.
Hell. Parenting
yes,
Hell's
indeed, or Parenting Hell if you're in the UK. Yes, it's the thing, isn't it? So thank you to Chris Messina, inventor of the hashtag and friend of the show. Friending up, spotting that.
The tech stuff on the Podnews Weekly Review.
Now, this is the part of the show where we go all techie. It's the stuff you'll read every Monday in Podnews. What's going on in the tech world, Sam?
Well, you and many others have been banging on about Apple in iOS 16 putting in a different user agent so that we can do some better analysis of what actual clients are using, which podcast and which service. So every time that John Spurlock keeps looking at the latest beta release and he's hoping and praying that it's actually been released into it, seems there isn't anything in there. But the good folks at Pocket Cast might actually get there first before Apple. So tell me more, James.
Yeah, I reckon that they probably will. So Pocket Cast, of course, is now open source. John Spurlock, who is a very clever man, submitted a pull request to the folks at Pocket Cast, basically saying, right, here's the code for you to set your user agent properly in iOS 16 and above. And that has been accepted. And it will be in Pocket Casts later on in the month, apparently November the 28th, 7.27, if you're checking out those Pocket Cast updates, which is really good because firstly, there's a useful reference there to show other apps how to do it. But also secondly, it means that they will probably be there before Apple Podcasts itself gets its own code into its own app. So yes, rubbish. It's the basic thing. One wonders why they're kind of holding back, given that this new key has been available to them since iOS 16 broke a couple of months ago. The conspiracy theorist might say, well, that might mean that people stop counting all of Apple Core Media as Apple Podcasts and Apple goes down. But that might just be a conspiracy theory.
But why is it important for all of us to have this, or why is it important for all the app providers to do this?
Well, I mean, it's important just for podcasters to understand where people are consuming their podcast. We don't ask for much in terms of getting into apps and things. We certainly don't ask for payment. But one of the things that we do ask for is that we actually know which app is using our podcasts. And at the moment, if you stream something using Apple Podcasts or a number of other things, including Pocket Casts, it comes up as a thing called Apple Core Media. And so therefore we don't know. So it's just being polite to the content creators, really. So it's an important thing from that point of view. And it's just something that, responsible podcast app developers should really be doing, I think.
Now, moving on, OP3, another initiative from John Spurlock, which is an open source podcast analytics service committed to transparency and listener privacy. Well, it's been implemented by RSS Blue, so the users there now can route their requests to their audio files through OP3 to enable public analytics. So congratulations to RSS Blue.
John Spurlock has also been having a look at user agent lists for OP3. I think he's on the cusp of announcing something there. He checked out both the lists from Buzzsprout, which are open and available, and also OPORG, which are open and available. My suspicion is that we will see some form of announcement over the next week or so in terms of helping us understand what is consuming our shows if we're using OP3. So, I think that's good news from that side too.
Moving on then, Overcast is to close its web player next year. I've never had the time or modern web development skills to make it a great way to use Overcast, says developer Marco Armont, adding that the experience is terrible. Thanks to Justin for the notification there on that one as a tweet. James, when I saw this, I had two thoughts. One was, is it because he doesn't think anyone uses a web desktop client for podcasting? Or is it just that he has a horrible set of UI features that he doesn't want to support anymore?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think he says that not very many people use it, although the people that do use it quite a lot, but not too many people use it overall. But I think also he is in the process of refactoring all of the back end of the Overcast system, and he just doesn't want to support it. It's not something that he thinks that people will be using very much going forward. So I think it is a little bit of both there. And of course, it's made an awful lot easier if you have a modern Apple Mac computer. You can download the iPhone app onto your Mac and just use it there. So he's hoping that more people are going to do that. So I think it's a clever plan to focus on the stuff that he's good at and the stuff that frankly he enjoys doing too.
Alby, which is our digital wallet that we support here, and Value for Value, which is a way of actually getting streaming or Boostagram sats. You spotted a new UI for a dashboard from a company that I hadn't heard of called I'm going to get it wrong now, Conshacks.
Yes, Conshacks. It's a new value for value dashboard that essentially you log into your Albi account and you can see where all of your boosts have come from, where all of your individual shows, how they've done and everything else. There's loads of graphs. There's loads of very cool stuff in there. It's well worth having a peek at. You can, I've shared in Podnews this week a couple of screen grabs of it, including, pictures of the number of supporters or the number of boost messages that you get and all of that kind of stuff. It's just really cool. And it really surfaces a lot more of the data which is actually currently available to you as a value for value podcaster. Particularly, you can see using streaming sats, you can see where people are stopping listening. So that's a really helpful tool. So Conshacks is the thing. Conshacks.app is where to go.
Excellent. I'll have a quick look at that because I've obviously played with Saturn, which is from Albi, and this might be a little bit better. Now, this is a thing I never understand, and I'm going to ask you again because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but I know it works. You've talked about a new tool that generates a podcast GUID for your podcast. Where do GUIDs come from? Who sets the GUID, and how come it can be unique if it's individually set by each different, I assume, host? So tell me more, James, because I'm totally confused how a GUID can be unique if everyone's setting their own GUIDs.
Right. Well, let's step one back. What is a GUID? A GUID is a unique identifier for a podcast. And one of the problems is there are lots of different podcasts which are all called the same name. So you can't necessarily refer to a podcast by name, nor can you refer to a podcast by an RSS feed because you might change your hosting company. And in which case, then you're changing your RSS feed. And so therefore, that's no good either. And you can't rely on that 301 redirect being there forever. So a podcast GUID is a really easy and simple way to basically say this number or this very long number refers to this particular podcast. And the way that it's calculated is it's calculated by the initial RSS feed that you use. So if you change your RSS feed, then your GUID still won't change and people can still find you that way. The way that it works is that it is a very long hexadecimal number. It's a particular type of GUID, and I forget the name of the exact tool, but it's a particularly long and complicated hexadecimal number. I think it's 32 characters. And so therefore it is really unlikely to ever collide, as they say. It's really unlikely to ever be given the same GUID as somebody else. And in fact, I know that Dave is busy running some code on the podcast index, just checking that isn't actually happening. But yeah, I mean, basically the answer is it shouldn't. And it probably won't. So that's probably a good thing.
But who initially sets it? Is it the host when you first create your RSS feed? Is that where it initially
Yeah, so the host
comes from?
should be setting it. The host should be setting it when you initially create a feed, and the host should be, if you're importing your feed from somebody else, then the host should be using the GUID, which is already in your original feed. But if you don't have a GUID in your RSS feed, then the podcast index automatically works one out for you so that their systems are using that GUID internally as well. So, so it is automatically set if you don't have one. But as with everything, if you've got it set in your RSS feed, then the podcast index will use that as its source of truth.
Finally, in Tech Corner, Podcast Republic, a popular Android podcast app, is now testing in beta on iOS as well. Hat tip to Tyler there for telling us about that.
Yes, and it looks good. It's an app which many people have been using on Android, and it's nice to see it moving on to iOS as well.
Boostagram
Corner
on the Podnews Weekly Review.
It is indeed, and lots of boosts coming in. We've got a big baller boost, which we'll get onto in a minute. But firstly, thank you, Matt Cundall, 25,000 sats. Congratulating us on 100 episodes of The Old Show. Looking forward to the Podnews Weekly review, he says. Well, you're on it, Matt. Thank you for sending your 25,000 sats from the Fountain app. Really appreciate that. That's a good thing.
Yes, we've had a rush boost, 21,012. Is that how you say it, James? I haven't quite got it.
I think I think this is a massive rush boost or something, 21012. But anyway, okay. Yes, I think you're right. It's from Kieran, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was the Beverly Hills show. Okay, I never get that right. Amazing chat with Dave and Adam you had there, Sam. Thank you. When you all get rolling and talking about the future, I get super excited. Podcasting 2.0 and value for value is fixing the world. It is indeed. It is indeed. And that was a good chat. Now, I've got to apologise because I got castigated by Dave and Adam on their show after that interview. They didn't expect to be put into the and one more thing section. I think they thought they were going to be the main thing. So apologies to Dave and Adam, but it was a really good chat. If you missed it, the last episode 100 of Podland, it's well worth listening to both what Dave and Adam have to say about the future of podcasting.
It was a great chat. I sent Adam a quick email after I heard, or a quick signal message after I heard him castigate us on the Podcasting 2.0 podcast, and I said sorry about the interview at the end thing. It's all Sam's fault. That's what I said. And he replied and he said, just giving you shit, James. So there you go. I'm probably going to have to bleep that out now, aren't I? So there we go.
If he was a little bit more verbose, we would have got it into the main part of the show. But as the interview was over 50 minutes, I don't think we could really have put it in the middle of the show.
No, it's probably a bad thing. Yes, moving on. Boomy, thank you. 100,000 sats.
Wow,
that's a big number. That if the big baller jingle was actually in the GitHub thing, then I could play it now. But it isn't, so I can't. He says thank you for all the work on the old show and the input. High five. So that's super good. So thank you so much for that. Brian of London also sends us an Israel Boost 1948, and he says, from the beach. I did notice that he also put this on his Mastodon as well, and there was a picture of Brian of London on the beach, which was all very good. And we got one from Oscar Mary as well.
Dig out the blog post on automatic downloads, Adam. Would love to read, and what a moment of history. Yeah, this is when Dave Weiner deleted it, didn't he?
Yes, Dave Weiner deleted it, so there won't be any digging out that blog post. But yes, the famous blog post that Adam wrote, where he came up with the idea that turned into podcasting that has since been lost to the bit bucket of time. Oscar, thank you very much. If you're a fan of the show, please consider supporting us. Everything from this show is shared by me and Sam. You can support us with cash at podnews.net/weekly support, or support us with sats by hitting the boost button. Now, what's happening for you this week, Sam?
Well, I went out to a pub with a bunch of podcasters in London. Ariel Nissenblatt was over in the UK, so she pinged me and said, do you know any pubs in South Kent, Sam? And so we ended up in a very, what I would call touristy pub, personally. It's called the Churchill Arms. Yeah, just to make it really touristy. It had a Thai restaurant in the back of it, so not English. But it was a lovely evening. Loads of good people come along. There's some great photos on Twitter if you check out Ariel's handle. And yeah, a couple of friends were there. Jake Warren was there from Message Heard, and James Bishop from 15 Play. So a lovely evening. I think we're going to try and do one in February as Pod News. There seemed to be a lot of interest in people physically meeting up again. So watch this space.
Yes, I think that's a very good thing. And I will be doing something similar along with Kieran here in Brisbane. on a Friday at some point in the next few weeks as well. So more details on that in next week's show for the very few people who listen to this show in and around southeast Queensland. But yes, we are going to go to a pub as well, along with the Brisbane podcaster group. And that'll be good. Quite why we've chosen Friday on the South Bank as well. Who knows? But anyway, I'm sure it's going to be incredibly packed. But nevertheless, as long as Karen can find somewhere that sells decent beer, then I'll be good. So looking forward to that. And how's this new podcast of yours coming on?
Well, after lots of extensive research, nobody wanted off the mic. They didn't see any longevity in talking to influencers about what they're doing besides podcasting. So I had a look around, and one of the things I do love is technology, not just podcasting, but all sorts of technology. My background is 30 years in doing technology from TechCrunch and various other podcasts I've done. So I've re-brought back, is that a word? I don't know, Sam Talks Technology, and I recorded my first 2 episodes, which I'm really excited about, with 2 VC investors who are very heavily investing into lots and lots of value for value companies like Smiles and Stacker News and various others. So my first 2 interviews are in the can. I'm editing them now, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll be launching Sam Talks Technology again.
Excellent. It'll be good to hear that back.
James, what's happening for you then, mate?
Well, so I've been I've booked a flight down to Sydney. Hooray! I'm going to the Australian Podcast Awards on November the 21st. If you're going, I will see you there. I'll be the person that doesn't quite fit in. And then I'm thinking on November the 22nd, because I happen to be down there for work on the 22nd and on the 23rd. I was thinking on November the 22nd in the evening, we might go to a pub somewhere and have a podcaster meetup. Now, of course, there is another COVID round of infections going on in this country. So who knows, everything might be cancelled. But at the moment, the idea of going out and finding some nice beer on November the 22nd sounds like a plan. So if anybody's up for that in central Sydney, then that would be excellent. I'm at james@crid.land if you want to send us an email, and we might end up sorting that out. So that should be in a couple of weeks from now. And that's it for this week.
You can give us feedback using our new email, which is weekly@podnews.net, or send us a Boostagram, which we love. If your podcast app doesn't support Boost, then grab a new app from podnews.net/new podcast apps.
Our music is from Studio Dragonfly. Our voiceover is Sheila D. And we're hosted and sponsored by Buzzsprout. Podcast hosting made easy.
Get updated every day. Subscribe to our newsletter at podnews.net. Tell your friends and grow the show.
And support us.
The Podnews Weekly Review will return next week. Keep listening.